Time to shine today, varsity squad. It is Scott Ferguson, and I got me my friend Abhilekh Verma from over in India, the southern part of India. We built a connection and a friendship through LinkedIn, and he's got thousands of connections on LinkedIn. He's so approachable, so personable. You know, he's mentored people across 28 different countries in the past 10 years. On psychology, business, mindset, and copywriting. He's an author. He loves reading. He loves sharing. Has a little freebie for you here at the end. So, Abhilekh, come on, say hello to the Time to Shine Today squad. But first, what's your favorite color and why?
Thank you, Scott, first, to invite me here. It's such an honor to come here. My favorite color, as you see, is yellow.
Yellow, huh? Why yellow?
Yeah. I mean, I find yellow and orange very useful when it comes to marketing campaigns. It just clicks and it makes your day so smiley. Yeah. Yellow is for smileys.
It's calm yet just refreshing, right? The yellow and the orange is fun. I kind of correlate orange to fun, which is great. So can I ask your age if you don't mind me asking? How old are you?
I am 28. I'm turning 29 this month. Yeah.
Excellent, man. So you're a young man. You're out there. You're taking care of people. You're helping them level up and stuff. So let's get to the origins there, Abhilekh, if you don't mind. Kind of share your story from, how you're a little bit younger and then kind of leveling up to where you are now, helping people take their lives to the next level.
Yeah. So I was actually in the 11th grade when I decided to take up, accounting instead of something called as science, because people like to get into science. But I thought, let me take another part. So I had an interest in accounting. Then I started writing blogging. I learned about search engine optimization, search engine marketing very early in my career. And then things started moving faster because I started developing websites. I started, having my own website very early in my career. And then I did ghostwriting. I got opportunities to write articles, not just for people in different world, but I also got opportunity where I was actually writing thesis papers for MBA and PhD candidates.
Wow.
So at an early age, I got this opportunity, and then I started, let me not just stop in the academic section. Let me move into different industries. So I started getting into fashion industry, real estate, logistics, IT. So all the industries, I started reaching out to a lot of PR agencies, a lot of venture capitalists, angel investors. They used to hire me to, do a lot of ghostwriting for them. That's when I built an interest over copywriting. And then things started moving a little faster for me. I got into mentorship. I actually was lucky to be part of, Unleash Your Power within some of the members in Success Resources. Tony, yeah. So then my career really changed. And then when I took up graduation in marketing, and then I completed my post-graduation in marketing along with that. So then I realized, let me also, take this very seriously, because if you see right now, people, they have too much information, but they don't know how to go about it, step by step. So that's where I entered into mentoring and coaching, and that's a lucky part. And I believe in investment, so that's the whole part. I believe in sharing things and giving away for free. So 99% of the stuff which I do is for free. Only to 1% of the people I sell or to the corporates. But I believe in giving more. That's the whole story of mine.
Wow, that's fantastic. You're a young man, but you're such a go-giver, and you know that you're giving away for free, but you're still open to receptivity, right? Of the good things coming back to you, right? It might not be in the form of money, but it might be a phone call that you've been waiting to hear from a family member or something, just crazy. So I love that. I love that about you. So then, Abhilekh, what do you think makes a great coach?
For me, a great coach or any motivational mentor would combine of one or two things. First and the most important thing is understanding what the other person wants, talking more about what they want, because we are mammals. The problem with us is we just keep selling stuff and courses and all. The moment we understand what the other person wants, based upon that, we could actually make a step-by-step process for them. And most important thing is how to get many things so easily, so so that they don't have a lot of time to go through stuff like that. Because I faced this a challenge, like when I was in the college, there was a lot of information given by the professors, and you don't know how to start a business, for example, right? So
Right.
if somebody could put it in a documented format, it could save a lot of years of time and efforts. So I believe the more a coach can document things, make the course so effectively easy for the person to understand and customize things, I believe it makes a person a very nice coach or a mentor.
Right. So there's the process, what you're talking about, of what the coach is going to take their student or their client through, correct? So they're not worried so much about the outcome as they are more about the process and sticking with the process to get to that outcome, correct?
Exactly. Perfectly
Okay.
right. Exactly.
Okay. Gotcha. We say here in American football, there's a very famous coach that said, the score will take care of itself. The process is what, we've got to work through. And if we do the process, the score will win. So I love that you said that. It's a lot about the process. That's fantastic.
Perfect.
So if I'm networking, Abhilekh, and, I'm talking either virtually or in person with somebody, how will I know what would they be saying to me that would make them a good contact, connection, or referral for your coaching business?
So the most important thing is understanding their why. That's what I have been doing. The moment I understand somebody's why, I can develop processes, I can develop the system accordingly.
Okay.
Because you see, every day we have a lot of pain areas, and there's a latent pain area which we all go through. Okay, so it also has to relate with mind, because I did a lot of mind blocking courses. I realized, heck, we have same 24 hours. Why don't we have 4 hours to sit with our own self? Why don't we have a time blocking for our own self?
Right.
So that way, if we can understand people, how people work, the art of neuromarketing, so that way I think things work pretty fine for me. Even psychology part is something I believe that's always worked that way. So somebody who wants to get introduced to me, I just do a lot of research on them and make sure I make them comfortable. That's the important part. And instead of me talking about you and recommend me to the other person, they themselves recommend. That's the whole part.
So is there a process that you start when you bring a client in? Do they fill out a questionnaire, or what kind of process do you have?
So I use SurveyMonkey. That's the website I use to ensure that I hit their pain area. I know in the first part, like since I was an introvert, so I know that challenges what introverts go through. Like somebody is an engineer student, let's say for example, or somebody just passed out, from their college. They have a lot of challenges when it comes to placement, when it comes to selecting the best job. They're clueless whether they have to do business and stuff like that. So these are some common challenges we have. So the more I know about them, it's very easy to conversate on that level, because the more research I do on somebody, I believe it's a win-win situation for both of them.
Gotcha. I love that. And so how are you doing a lot of the research on people? You're giving them the questions and whatnot, but do you do social media checks, or like how do you do your research?
I use something called as Crystal Knows. So before meeting anyone on LinkedIn, they just browse and tell me what are the SWOT analysis. I know exactly what they are good at, what they want to improve at. So that's an artificial intelligence tool I have.
What is the name of it?
Crystal Knows.
Crystal, say that again. CRYST.
STAL.
Okay. EL?
AL. Crystal.
Okay. Gotcha.
Knows.
KNOWS?
Exactly.
Okay. All right. I'm going to have to look into that myself. Very cool. Very cool. So when you start taking on a new client, is there any good question that you wish they would ask you but never do?
Yeah, the number one challenge which people don't open up is what I recommend. Like, if I could get that in the first meeting, because in the first meeting, what I find people asking is, what are your charges? So we are not selling. That's
Right.
That's the only thing I wish they never say to me. So I just recommend just be normal. It's not a sales call. It's nothing like that. So even if I talk to a software company, or even if I buy a lot of softwares, so I also make them a bit comfortable, and I don't just push to ask about price, the very first part.
Mm-hmm.
So I recommend somebody coming to me, just be normal, talk about yourself. Mm-hmm. Don't worry on the price. I'm also okay to go for free, because the most important part is winning confidence.
Right.
That's the whole part of coaching. So
Right.
the moment you get confidence, then automatically the trust factor comes in automatically.
If I hired you to be my coach, I would ask you, tell me about a fail. Tell me where you messed up and then made it right, or what we say here at Time to Shine Today, how you failed forward. So tell us a little bit about one.
Okay, so one specific like failure, if you're asking, specifically which I had, taking too many clients. Okay, so when I was in so I was in my post graduation, I was doing the MBA from marketing in a very top elite college in Hyderabad. So it was my placement time. My exams were going on. We had class participation that was 40%. So every day we have to speak in the class, right,
Right.
to get marks. And I was actually discussing with a customer in France, then there's Germany, there's Italy, everything coincided. And the next day was my exam, right? So I had some deliverables and I had an exam, which I was very interested for online marketing, because that has been my core area.
Okay.
So whatever all these three people taught me, I just blindly wrote it in the exam. Luckily, I managed to get an A, but still I say it's a failure. The reason being I couldn't write things which I actually wanted to write, by studying the course.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Okay.
So there are many times I think like if I would have, studied pretty well in my MBA, maybe I could have a more grasp on my theoretical aspect.
Okay.
I could improve right now because I have not studied MBA thoroughly. That's very honestly I can say. So that's one failure I can say, that when I have too many customers, so so I did try to do delegation. So I started hiring a lot of virtual assistants.
Good.
So that helped
Do you
me a
hire
lot.
them out of India, or do you use the Philippines, or where do you use?
Philippines, Vietnam.
Okay.
That's
That's where I get mine too as well. With
exactly
pricing, and their English is really good too.
Exactly.
So speaking of that, you speak really good English. Okay, so have you been to the States at all?
No, I've never got an opportunity, but if you invite me, I'll be definitely.
I know, right? Come on. But like, you speak really, is it taught in the schools there? Just curious.
So I had this, I was not into an English medium. I came from a local language, a Marathi medium. It's one of the languages in Mumbai. Sure.
Yeah.
So early in my career, my English was pretty weak. And there were students, who used to say like, your English doesn't do well. And when I was in 5th grade, I took it as a challenge. I was not a good speaker. I was an introvert, as I mentioned. So everything, the more people used to say you cannot do some things better. Then I took out the book called Wren and Martin, and I started mastering it. I started working on the grammar, prepositions, and stuff like that. And then I started working on my tonality along with the grammar. And that's where I
get it over. Yeah. Love that, man.
So I also went through a lot of books. Straight Line of Persuasion is one thing I can recommend, of Jordan Belfort. So that's why I started growing up a little faster from others. And then I recommend people like, there's no stopping by. So if I do right now public speaking, I do a lot of shows, when I get invited in multiple countries, I still ask for people, give me a feedback where I can improve.
Okay.
And that has helped me a lot.
Nice.
Because if people can tell me even 3 things which I have, which I can improve on, my speaking abilities improve to a great extent.
That's great. You got to ask people that are going to be candid with you and not feed you, stuff just to boost your ego. Be like, hey, okay, very nice. So let's go back to the 18-year-old Abhilekh. Okay, let's talk to him. What kind of knowledge nuggets, we call them knowledge nuggets here at Time to Shine Today, what kind of knowledge nuggets are you dropping on the 18-year-old Abhilekh with the knowledge and wisdom that you have now, maybe to help them level up a little faster, shorten that learning curve a little bit?
So the number one thing is work on a very strong timetable. There's PUBG, there's TikTok. They're going to eat your brain like anything. So stay away from the games. Stay away from all the distractions. Make sure you note down everything in details and document it, as I mentioned. The earlier you do it in your career, when you're actually in your 12th grade or you're getting into the college lifestyle,
sure,
it's so easy. And I believe whatever I've learned it when I was in the 12th grade, I'm implementing it right now, even because I have it documented with me.
Wow.
So that's something I recommend people.
So you're like saying journal and really
Exactly.
keep
I write 11,000 words daily so that I
wow,
can
11,000
say
words, huh? That's
yes.
excellent. I mean, I journal every day. I don't do 11,000, but I wake up every day with an attitude of gratitude. I'm very grateful. I get to look at the Atlantic Ocean when I wake up. It's beautiful,
Awesome.
and, I thank the people at the power companies, at the water companies. So I have flushable water and power to power this dang cell phone and everything. I love that's a very selfless answer. And I appreciate you saying that. So we talk about the dash here, Abhilekh, and I want to know how you want your dash remembered. That little line between your life date and your death date. How do you want your dash to be remembered?
One thing I can recommend is every day when I get up, I just think it's my last day. Okay,
Okay.
so I give everything to people thinking, oh, it's my last day. Tomorrow is my last day. So if I can implement this in everybody's mind, they're being so productive, saying that, okay, I have a 1 hour. It's like something called as Parkinson's law. So I have a 1 hour. I have to do everything in that 1 hour.
Wow.
So if I can do that, and if people can also do that, I think they can remember me more because I've helped them, mentored, and they've actually implemented. So then they can remember me forever that way.
Love it. Love it. And, you're such a go-giver at such a young age, which is just amazing. That's fantastic. So,
Thank you.
all right, I'm trying to think of how to ask this. Like, okay. Okay, I'll ask you this. What is one thing you know for sure in life?
One thing I know for sure is everyone loses patience. They will give up some other day. It's just about when you can, have that patience and wait for your right day, right moment.
Okay.
Right. So everyone is going to lose their cool. Maybe not today, but tomorrow. So there's like a lot of negativity out there.
Sure.
Every day, as you mentioned, be giving gratitude to people. So I also believe in that. So just forget about whatever bad happened in the last year, or let's say in the last year. Focus on everything for tomorrow.
Okay.
Abundance. So that's what I recommend people.
So, Abhilekh, how do you handle the objection of you're 29 years old and you might have a 50-year-old CEO call you up and say, you know what, I want you to, mentor me, coach me. But if they ask how old you are, you're 29. How do you get around that objection?
Important thing is I never talk about my age. What I generally do at the very first thing is I found their major why. And if they ask me if you're 29 years old, so I'll say, oh, you also have a son. That's cool, right? We could be friends.
Right.
so I just make them a bit more comfortable. I've actually coached a lady who's 78 right now in Uruguay.
Okay.
So in Europe. So I know that she has 3 generations. When I was teaching her something related to digital marketing, and she was saying like, my kids don't help me and I feel I shouldn't ask them. So this is the number one challenge. Somebody who's of old age, they think. So this is the one pain area I know.
Right.
They think like, I cannot ask my granddaughter, I cannot ask my grandson to help me. They might get offended, something like that.
So how is it there in India with COVID? Is everybody in masks, or are restaurants open, or what's going on over there, brother?
Restaurants are open, things are fine, but the problem here is not everyone has the mask facility. So there's also some suburban poor, then there's more poor. So we are getting more tested. So that's the reason we have reached to the top 2. But I believe maybe by, this is my prediction, maybe by December 14 or 15, things would be pretty fine.
Nice.
There's some research I did. So I believe before this end of this year, things should be pretty fine.
Good. So let's take our cell phone, your computer, your microphone, anything electronic out. What are 3 things Abhilekh can't live without?
This is a very tricky question. I think these are some important things which I actually crave for every day. But one important thing I can't live without is, something related with my pet. So he's an American bully. So
nice.
I just love, I think I also saw your pit bull. I think he's 4 years.
Yeah. He's my guy Stitch. Yeah.
Love right. It. So that's number one thing. And one more thing I can say is like, family. So that's always there. So this is always on my top radar.
Nice. Love it. So what is your definition then, Abhilekh, of a life well lived?
A single line definition could be like, don't try to please people. Let them come to you and say like, oh, you're so wonderful.
Okay, gotcha. So like really don't brag about stuff. Let them come and kind of let the action show, not the words, right? So Absolutely. They can come back and say, man, Abhilekh, that was awesome. You're inside, you're saying, yeah, I know. Right? I love it.
Right.
I love it. All right. So as we wind things down a little bit here, Abhilekh, we have a leveling up lightning round, all right? There's 5 or 6 questions that you and I could talk about for a long time, but you have 5 seconds to answer them.
Okay.
No explanations. You ready, brother?
Sure.
All right. What is the best piece of leveling up advice you've ever received?
Invest on yourself.
Love it. Love it. Share one of your personal habits that contributes to your success.
Productivity levels. So how to do more in less time.
Love that time management. I love it. So recommend a good book to me.
Dan Lok, any book.
Who is it?
Dan Lok. So
Dan
he's
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any of the books.
I will check it out and I'll put them in the show notes. So when you're texting, what is your most commonly used emoji?
Smiley.
Smiley? All right. Very cool. Big or just a regular? Just a regular smile or the big grin?
Regular.
All right, my man. Gotcha. Is there any charity or organization you like to give your time or money to?
I do sometimes to some NGOs in India. So They do for women empowerment.
Oh, very good, man. Thank you. So last question. You're a little bit younger. So what's the best decade of music? 70s, 80s, 90s, or 2000s?
I was born in 90s, so I can say 90s.
90s is good music, man. 90s.
Yeah, music. I loved 90s music.
So, Abhilekh, how can we find you, brother?
I think so. I am on over 2,500 different social media channels, websites. So you can find me anywhere. You just search Abhilekh Verma. You'll find on all 10 Google pages. But LinkedIn is something I recommend quickly. Somebody can find me.
Yeah. I found Abhilekh on LinkedIn, and I just read his profile, and I was like, you know what? I think it'd be a great interview. And you did not disappoint, man. So
Same here. I loved it.
Leave the Time to Shine Today squad with one last knowledge nugget you want them to take with them, internalize, and take action on.
Yeah. I mean, one important thing is don't give up quickly on your dreams. And most important thing is, if you're an introvert, I love to give you my book. I've written specifically. I've actually taken information from around 16,000 people. I've taken 3 years to write this book. So please come to me. I'll give you this book as a free thing. And I believe if you can become from an introvert to an ambivert, that will help you a lot in your career.
Will it be in a digital format that you could send it to them?
Yes,
okay,
absolutely.
Perfect. Oh, perfect. All right, squad. We just had basically a free masterclass with my really good friend here, Abhilekh Verma. He's going to say that a good coach is going to understand what the other person wants, and he's going to invest in their why to help them take them to the next level. He wants to document and customize the process for his clients. And he's going to find out, again, the why, which will give a solid process for him to level him up. Like we say at Time to Shine Today, that the score will take care of itself. Everything is really ingrained in that process. He's really big. Abhilek's really big on time management, stays away from the TikTok, the Instagram, the really bad distractions. He's all about journaling, which I talk about every day, people. So if you have a 29-year-old guy that's out there helping, 50, 60, 70-year-old people level up, he journals, you better get to journal. You don't have to do the 11,000 words a day like my man does, but get to journaling. I always says that. He's living his legacy every day. He's a complete go-giver. He gives 99%. In that 1%, he's always open to receptivity. And as it comes back to him, he is grateful for it. He tells you to be patient, wait for the right moment, especially if you're offended by something or somebody says something you don't like. Be patient. Don't speak out. And he also tells us the actions show. Don't talk about yourself. Don't brag about yourself. Let the action show. Let people come up to you and tell you, hey, Abhilekh, great job, man. He's going to remind you to invest in yourself and to never, ever, ever, ever give up on your dreams. And that's my guy, Abhilekh, man. He is fantastic. He's humble. He's hungry. He's wealthy. He's happy. He's leveling up all of those aspects. He's earned his varsity squad letter here. I really appreciate you coming, Abhilekh. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Scott. Pleasure here.